Welcome back, guys. Thank you for coming by on a Saturday. And much love to my brothers and sisters out there. Let's get started. All right, we got cut off the other day for a few minutes at about the 49.5 minute mark. And really, what I was talking about is, a channel that I was subbed up to, and he was reading off messages from people that were hearing from God. And when these prophecies didn't come to pass after some time, especially one specifically, I remember about a woman he read off. Said that when people start entering the water, they're going to come out with all these boils and all that. And that was a lying divination from a false prophet. So I left a correcting comment in love, and I said, please don't do that, brother, because you're going to be personally held accountable. And the thing is that with the V2K technology now that is out actually generates the thoughts from the AI matrix, from the quantum computers through RF technology, actually resonates through your DNA resonance frequency, matching the neocortex of your brain, which is where your original thoughts generate. And if people are going along with the program, okay, the technology, and are not aware that their minds are being manipulated and our thoughts and emotions are being manipulated by this technology, then it'll be a very, very subtle beast. How many times have some of us been out and it feels like the whole world is just out against you that day, where you call somebody and everything is just going wrong? And that's because this matrix, and we're going to show some people here that have knowledge on this that will explain this. What I'm telling you here is the truth, how they've done this. If we say, let's look at the Earth diagram that I showed the other day, how we're encapsulated by this technology. Well, Eric, how did they get the non-terrestrial matter down into the soil and into the oceans, which cover most of the Earth? Well, that's a good question. By spraying it into the upper stratosphere, it comes down through the condensation. And what they've done to the oceans is they've been polluting the oceans for decades upon decades on end. So it's even at least cut the frequency off the natural frequency of the Earth from the terrestrial black matter goo that is of the Earth, has been at least overcome by the non-terrestrial matter that Harold Kurzweil states came back sometime thousands of years ago through meteorites. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. Okay, but there is what's called non-terrestrial black matter or black goo, and CERN 666 has even been very open about that. So now back to the V2K technology. So if you're not aware of it and the day is going all wrong, it's because you are being a targeted individual through this technology, and it can go ahead and manipulate the thoughts of people around you to seem as though the entire world is coming against you. Once you recognize that your thoughts are being manipulated and that this technology exists, and it becomes more and more antagonistic. So you're no longer going along with the program, and it recognizes that you're breaking away from the matrix. And it's just like in the movie The Matrix, when the Smith starts taking over. Okay, the people that he was taking over fell into the program and they become one with the matrix. Well, the people that aren't becoming one with the matrix are constantly being hunted. So that's basically what I was saying. So what I also wanted to say was that, yes, if I was to say that I was not deceived by this technology at some point, then I'd be lying. Absolutely. Because, yeah, I've been deceived by this technology. And for any truth channel that is out there, because it's in papers all over the place, and in upcoming vids, we're going to get more into this. This is kind of just finishing off the Project Bluebeam vid. But yeah, they talk about how they've used it on the truth community to misdirect and also take credibility away, because when over the years, how many times has the whole truth community basically not, I'm not coming against anybody at all. It's just I'm telling you how this happened. Whether it be through Jade Helm, through going back to all the way to 2011 and the end of the Mayan calendar of 2012, and then on and on and on. There was always some big major event which was going to result in martial law, and it never happened. Well, finally it's here, but unfortunately they've marginalized us by misdirecting us using that technology. So on that, the last thing I wanted to just ask you guys where we left off last time on this map, and this is all we'll cover on the map for this today, is it says here, and this is really cool, that the AI artificial intelligence will be wiped out during the Great Solar Flash. Those who worship technology, the AI prophet species, will be eliminated during the Great Solar Flash for 1,000 years. Now, I'm just asking, I'm not drawing conclusions. Is that the millennial reign of our King Christ Redeemer here on earth? And AI and the prince of the power of the air, Satan, are actually one and the same? That's a great question to ponder on, and one I've been pondering on for a decade at least, guys, and I'm leaning strongly that is the case, okay, that he is one with this AI artificial intelligence that requires other people to actually build for it. So at least let's have a good positive message here in Revelation 21 verse 4, because guys, as scary as some of this is, all right, and I understand people that don't have that same connection and people that have family that's not awake, and you pray to God that they would be awake each day. It's very difficult to watch this, and I was able to let go after my near-death experience in 2019. I'm still having a hard time with things. So just realize that once we endure to the end here, there will be no more pain. We won't remember any of this world, any of this torment that we're facing and looking forward to, okay? Because those who know the truth know where we're going, all right? So 21 verse 4, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat on the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. Indeed they are, my friends. Now, I want to get into Jordy Rose here for a second here and talk about what he's saying about what they're summoning here into the world. Let's have a listen here for a moment to Dr. Jordy Rose.
So this, of course, triggers a lot of alarm. One of the guys who talks about this is Elon, who says things like this, like, when you do this, beware, because you think, just like the guy in the stories, that when you do this, you're going to put that little guy in a pentagram, and you're going to have your holy water out, and you're going to wave it at the thing, and by God, it's going to do exactly what you say, and not one thing more, but it never works out that way.
And he's going to say that Elon Musk was just an alarmist. Well, no, they've actually totally lost control of this AI. There's no question about that. Excuse me, let me close this here. There we go. And, yeah, so I want to talk about how through this whole Project Bluebeam, by changing the frequencies that come into our eyes, and then it processes through our brains, and then it alters the reality of the world that we can see through our eyes. That's why people who have senses that can feel vibrations, which people like myself and many, many others out there, for instance, when I recall memories now, this is what's called fifth density recall, okay, or remote viewing. I don't recall memories the way that I used to recall memories. I now recall memories where I can actually, this may sound totally out there and bizarre to you guys, but I can actually project my consciousness and go back to that exact spot and timeline. I don't recall a memory like people can recall, oh yeah, I remember that. I can actually go back to an experience like those nights that I had these experiences, even on the summer solstice of 2019. I can actually, once I get into a calm, go into a state of consciousness and project myself back to that exact time and experience and analyze it over and over again. And that's what's amazing about these spiritual gifts, and once you really ascend in your consciousness. But the way that we ascend is when we start to let go and disbelieve all the lies of this quantum matrix that we're going to listen to right here from Kevin Kelly here about the augmented virtual reality. Let's listen here just for a moment, because this is just amazing and true.
Everything connected to the internet will be connected to the mirror world, And anything connected to the mirror world will see and be seen by everything else in this interconnected environment.
This was a white paper put out by Purdue University in 2006, and the Sentient World Simulation, SWS, went live in 2007, which represents every person on the planet within this computer matrix as a node, and every node is given an avatar, an identifier. And that is real-time, 24/7 monitoring of every person on the planet.
What does it take to actually lock onto a target? Do they have to decode somebody's energy signature? How exactly does that work?
Yeah, you're asking great questions, and I got to be careful what I say, but the person's brain print, their particular energy signature, just like a thumbprint or something like that, needs to be collected before the long process of retraining the brain to listen to a computer.
Now, not necessarily the computer per se. They're actually listening to a sentient entity. They're listening to the Prince of the Poverty air that is manifested, and it is taking over the body collective, which is the masses. So, for instance, what will happen is if you try to start to talk to somebody and ask them to unplug, maybe somebody's caught up in politics, maybe they're caught within the whole Hegelian dialectic, and they just have their belief system, and that's what's holding them back. It's an actual program. It's the technology of belief. So once you start to try to take away that technology out of them because they are programmed, the system now then begins to work against them and generate these thoughts within their minds to pull away from what you are saying and maybe just call you a conspiracy theorist, to shut you down and just get away from it, because the machine now has a grip on the body collective. Those that are here for the end time harvest, that are here, are meant to be reaped for harvest, will be. And those that are meant to wake up during the hour of testing, they will be awoken up then and be reaped for the harvest. Now what this technology does here that he was explaining, that is their end goal. That is to have omnipresence, because the omnipresence will be once everybody is part of this AI control matrix, an uploaded collective hive mind consciousness, which is really the reconstruction of the Tower of Babel, is what they're doing. But they're doing it consciously and uploading it into an AI. They're looking to escape judgment through transcendence. So that's what the whole thing is about here, is our adversary needs to gain omnipresence. So what they're saying is that through my eyes and through their eyes and through the other people's eyes over there, everybody's looking at each other, and through this computer, this quantum matrix, this supercomputer, uploads that consciousness and knows what everybody and everything is doing around the world, because one single quantum computer can process in real time at 8 trillion moves per second. And I don't know how many quantum computers there are. So that's the whole point of all of this, is transcendence and omnipresence. Okay? So here's Gina Maria Colvin Hill. Now she also captures those holographic lasers that I have been talking about and showing for some time. Here's mine in the light orb infrared technology raw footage video. Let me open it up a little bit here. There we go. Sorry, my computer's running slow. You can see those beams shooting down right there. Okay, that's actually the moon, and all I had to do is adjust the lighting to a good amount, a degree there, spend some time bringing out those colors, bringing out the infrared laser beams. There is what I was doing. And as we watch it orbit, it actually shoots these beams right out. It's absolutely incredible. Let's see if we can fast forward a little bit here. Watch it orbit. There we go. Here we go. See that? That's just amazing, right? Well, I captured that in 2019. It's now 2021. Gina Maria Colvin Hill here, back on, let's see, December 28th, caught this. Let's have a listen here, because she does some amazing work, and she's she's growing in her spirit. I just hope she comes to the realization that there's only one way back to the Father, and that's through Christ Yeshua the Messiah. Now let's listen here.
You can see this right here as it moves. And these aren't the images that I get. You can see that.
See, she's capturing exact same anomalies that I've been capturing. And now I'm so thankful that somebody that actually has a decent following out there is capturing this stuff as well. Okay? We are truly within a holographic matrix right now. By encompassing us with this technology, they're able to create a holographic projected universe all around us. Okay, let's watch it for another minute here.
I've done a lot of adjustments right here with exposure and things is what I've done in order to get these pictures like this.
Yeah, you're right. It takes a lot of adjusting and a lot of work to get it out, but she's catching it too. So therefore, I'm not the only one, guys. And I want to talk about here on the Project Bluebeam towards the end there. And before we actually talk about this here, okay, I'm sorry, let me get here. Let's look at this because I had to do a voiceover on this part. And it gets real annoying sometimes because they're constantly harassing me here. But what I want to do is get a look here at this, okay, because this actually it spins like a vortex going in one direction and spinning in the other. Let's have a watch once it gets going here, okay. See how it one direction and the other, and these entities are flying out of it, okay. Continue to watch right here. It actually orbits. That's a vortex. Okay. And there I'm just showing some more of the entities. Let's see if it starts going again here in a second. Let's give it a minute to play. I'm showing the vortex here. But when I was doing the voiceover, you know, it's hard to remember what you said the first time around. Especially when you went through such a heck of a day trying to get it out and you had so many problems. There we go. Now we're seeing it go again. You see how it's orbiting, spinning, okay? That's actually a portal, a vortex. So we have a lot going on here. Now this is what I want to talk about. These lights here, okay? Because all this audio is off big time by, you know, probably 30 to 40 seconds. I have no idea what happened. But I'm just going to play part of it and show you what's happening. This you can see here is how the directed energy travels through the metal particulates that are in the air, and then it shoots forward towards me. And it looks like it ran out of conductor and it just fell short or just missed completely. Let's hit play and see what happens, and we'll just start talking about a few things that got missed during the presentation because for some reason the audio got flipped weird, and I'm explaining here how that is shifting down towards me. But every time I would get hit with a frequency weapon, look at how it glitches out, okay? See all of this right here. All of this stuff here. When I get struck by a directed energy beam, the seal of living God actually protects me. It looks like a force field. Let me see if I could find a little better spot for this here. Okay, and that's a directed energy beam that's coming down. Okay, from likely an autonomous drone that's up there. But let's look and see what happens once it makes contact. It breaks apart. See that? This is the force field that I'm talking about. So, yes, continue to pray for that hedge of protection. And you can see how it looks like they've built a digital, you know, holographic world around us, and they need to upgrade us into transhuman 2.0 because they're looking to create that hive mind to escape judgment and recreate their Tower of Babel. But rest assured that once all this is finished, my friends, we know where we're going because we're in the way, the truth, and the life. and he who endures to the end, the same shall be saved. So it is not too late. Ask for Christ, our Messiah, Yeshua, to work in your life, and pray each day to be delivered from everything that is falling upon this world. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. It'll be probably several days because my wife's going to the hospital on Tuesday. So I'm going to have several days at least on my hands because she can't have visitors. So I'm going to get some good projects out then. We're going to have some fun talking about some great topics. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Look forward to talking to you soon. Much love from God the Father. Take care.